up, y'all? I'm back. It's your girl Mona, and I'm here with a review for Jocelyn's Cabaret Season 2, Episode 1. So if you've noticed by now, yeah, I stopped doing Real Housewives. The season is boring, plain, blah, just over it. And don't mind my voice, I'm a little bit under the weather. No, it's not Miss Rona, but I'll be alright. So first off, I want to start by saying I should have watched Season 1. By watching like the new premiere Season 2 or whatever, I'm like, dang, like I definitely should have watched when it first came out, because this show is literally crazy, uncut, just wild. So the scene starts out with Jocelyn and Ballistic. They're in front of this huge estate, like literally huge, hella nature, hella woods, big fat ass house in the middle of like, it looks like nowhere. But they're in front of this estate or big ass mansion is basically going to be the house all the girls are going to be staying in. That's the difference with this season. It's kind of like Bad Girls Club style, low-key. Bad Girls Club on crack, if you ask me. But yeah, so they're staying in front of the house. They go up to like the rooftop. They're sitting down and they're basically just anticipating the girls coming in and the overall experience, and just like eager to just see how it's all going to turn out. They talk about two girls who are returning from first season, which is Lucky and Sapphire, and how Jocelyn is basically giving them another shot at being in her cabaret. And Jocelyn's basically just telling him how like, oh, like, you know, like I hope the girls know that like you're off limits. There ain't gonna be nobody trying to sneak, do none of that shit. So they basically toast to the estate and the drama and craziness that's about to come into the house. So this is when we start meeting the girls. Basically the bus pulls up and the girls are loading into the bus. The first person that we meet is Lucky, who, like I said before, was on season 1. Lucky's super pretty, little like fun size type girl, and basically she's talking about she's coming back to win. Apparently last season, I guess she got bullied. I guess she like cried hella much and Jocelyn fought 2 girls for her, just hella shit. But basically she's like, I'm coming back a whole new bitch. And then we meet Chanel, and basically she says how she, oh, by the way, Lucky's a stripper too. Majority of these girls are strippers for the occupation. If I don't say their job, then that most likely means they're a stripper. If I say something else than that, then it's something else. But Chanel is a dancer, and basically in her confessional, she was like, you gotta pay the fee. That's why I'm named Chanel. I'm expensive, blah, blah, blah. Then we get Blueface Barbie, who is the white girl on the show. She makes it very clear that she's not a dancer, that she's a trapper. Basically, she's a high-class escort, pretty much, and how she like is, I guess, above everybody. And then next we meet Big Lex, who most of you have probably seen on social media with the whole double homicide comment. That was the girl who made the comment. But we get introduced to her. She's a dancer as well. And basically she's saying how she's AKA the flexer, and how basically don't fuck with her because she got them hands. So then the camera returns back to the car, and Blueface Barbie is basically talking about how, oh, we all hoes in here. Doesn't matter what we do. If we dance, escort, blah, blah, blah. We all some hoes. Like, yay. And then the next person that we meet is Boss Tech. You may have seen her like on World Star Hip Hop or going viral on Twitter. She's the girl who does the amazing body paint and be twerking the fuck out of it. She's known for like she's like a watermelon one, and literally like had the butt cheeks made it seem like it was like the watermelon like split open. Really cool. But basically she's a dancer at Magic City, and then does like her body paint and all that stuff on the side. Finally, the bus pulls up, the ladies arrive, they hop out the bus, and then that's when we meet Sapphire. Sapphire is honestly like a bad bitch. Like she is pretty as fuck. I was really taken aback. I was like, whoa, like she fine. But she was also from season 1 too. She's basically just saying how she's back to make her mark this time. And then we meet Aqua. Kind of things take a turn. Aqua says that she's a travel dancer and that she's been homeless for, I believe, 2 years. She's been living out of her car. However, she has a sugar daddy who's a white older man, I believe in his 60s, and they've been off and on for a number of years. Those two things kind of don't go together, but okay. That's her story. And even Jocelyn in Confessionals made a comment saying, how you got a sugar daddy but you live in your car? Like, it's not making sense. That's the first thing I thought too. I'm like, how do you have a sugar daddy you've been committed to for years, but you've been living in your car for 2 years? Like, hopefully it's a Benz. Like, hopefully he upgraded her car, because I'm just confused. So then Miss Jocelyn, she comes out in her beautiful blue outfit and is welcoming the girls and takes the girls inside. And Blueface Barbie makes this comment like, oh, all the girls are running up the steps. Like, it's not even that serious. Chill. And it's like, okay, like, we get it. You get money. You're a trapper. Like, she just gives me those, like, black men like me because I'm a cultural appropriator, so therefore I'm better than you type vibes. Like, ew. And I must say, the house is literally amazing. It is huge. Like, I'm not trying to compare, but comparing. Like, you know, Bad Girls Club and back in the days, like, dang, that house is big. Like, look at all the rooms. Like, these girls literally have their own rooms, their own suites. Like, they have the budget for this. So finally, the girls are inside the house, and Jocelyn is basically explaining the rules of, like, the game or the show. These girls are going to be competing for not only $10,000, but a spot in Jocelyn's Cabaret that will eventually be performing in Vegas. I really think this idea that Jocelyn's doing is really cool. If y'all have watched any of my old videos, I used to be a ball service girl at Gentlemen's Club, so I've been a part of that, like, that world and industry, and I have some friends who are like dancers too, and it is rough out there, seeing what the dancers really have to like go through. And the fact that she's trying to pull these girls out of the strip clubs or out of whore houses, as she calls it, and whatever they're doing, and trying to make something positive out of it and make it really like an art. So this is where the whole viral double homicide thing happens. Jocelyn basically is talking to them about, you know, trying to get out the gutter, all that goodness. Aqua in the back starts crying, and Jocelyn calls her forward and was like, why are you crying? Like, come here. So then Aqua starts explaining how, like, she knows about getting out the gutter. Like, she just went through an abortion with twins. And Big Lex in the back says, double homicide. Honestly, when I first saw that like video of it on Twitter, I was dying. Like, obviously that is a horrible thing to say, but it was hilarious because you could literally tell that was something that she probably meant to say in her head, and it literally just slipped out. Like, weak. And then after the comment, Jocelyn tells Big Lex to come up, and it's like, why'd you say that comment? And this is when I started to kind of look at Big Lex sideways, like, okay, you're doing too much. Because she basically was like, oh, like, I don't know why she's up here crying. Like, you got to be stronger than that. And in my head, I'm like, damn, she's going really hard for somebody who she doesn't know and who literally went through a tragic ass situation. Like, okay. So then Ballistic comes out, introduces himself to the ladies, and that's when we get introduced to Miss Natural. Miss Natural is a porn star. I was like, I knew I recognized her. But no, she's a porn star and used to be like a professional dancer back in the day. And basically in her audition, she's just talking about how she just loves fucking, and she's here to get herself up out of that scene. So then basically Jocelyn, switching back to like the current moment, Jocelyn basically tells the girls, get dolled up and get ready for tonight because they didn't come ready there. She thought they looked kind of basic. So now tonight you need to come to serve. So while the girls are looking for their rooms, that's when we get introduced to Lexi Blow. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw her, I thought she was like a black woman, but then I found out she's actually white. I was like, whoa, like she literally looks like a light-skinned black girl. Had the finger waves and everything. She's crazy. But we get introduced to her, and basically she's saying she got her name because she has a fat ass. And she is also too a stripper and low-key kind of like an Instagram model. So they're showing the rooms. Like I said, the rooms are fat as fuck. They got suites. Like, they really did it for these girls. Then we get introduced to Yummy P. Yummy P's kind of like the weird, quirky one. She's definitely different from the rest of the girls as far as style-wise, but she's also a stripper as well. And then we get a scene of Sapphire and Lucky. I guess they have their own suite or apartment inside there. They probably do. They said they were off, I think, to the West Wing. So they're in there catching up, whatever. But there's all this commotion going on downstairs. So hop down to downstairs. It's a whole lot of bullshit going on. It's basically Big Legs arguing against Aqua, and who was it? Boss Tech was there, and I forgot the other girl who was there, but mainly it was her and Aqua getting into it, and some of the other girls like Boss Tech trying to defend the situation. And no lie, Big Lex was doing the most. Like, she was just talking out her ass, just like saying the most disrespectful shit. Like, there was at one point where I think she called Aqua like a pussy or something. Aqua was like, oh, how am I one? And she was like, oh, well, clearly you aren't, because you can't hold two babies in there. Something like that. Something just hella crazy. She was just doing the most. And at that moment I was like, okay, she just wants her 15 seconds of fame, because I don't understand how you had this girl fucked up, but then you're mad at them, like telling you, hey, this is disrespectful, and you arguing back. Like, it was disrespectful. You know it's disrespectful. But at that moment, I guess she didn't want to take the accountability for it, so she was just popping off out the mouth. So that was it. She said, you got some loose pussy, because clearly you can't hold 2 babies up in there. Wild. And then while Big Lex is like arguing and just going off, Miss Natural in her confessionals is saying how, like, you know, it's not right for her to be treating this girl wrong about her abortion, because I too had an abortion. I think she said when she was 12, it was like a young age, and I guess she had to learn how to walk again, and she was at a performing dancing art school. Like, just crazy. So she basically hops up in her face, like all up in her face, like, who the fuck you talking to? Like, you over here talking about this abortion. I went through that too. Like, you need to like buck down. Like, basically like, bitch, I'm not scared of you type shit. So while they're arguing with each other, that's when Jocelyn comes down and is like, what the fuck is going on? She stands up on top of a table and she was like, I was over here trying to take a shit and eat my noodles, and I hear y'all arguing. Why the fuck are y'all arguing? Y'all supposed to be fighting in your rooms. That's when Big Lex throws Miss Natural on the bus and was like, oh, the one with the dreads coming up over here in my face, blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I'm like, so you're just gonna leave out the part that you was going off on a good like 4 or 5 bitches. Like, just skip to the very end of it. Like, okay. And then Miss Natural from across the room, because they're like on the room, she's basically like saying like, well, Big Lex just needs to shut the fuck up. Like, she's talking about all this abortion shit, doing hella extra. She needs to shut the fuck up. And then Big Lex makes the mistake of saying, all right, Jocelyn number 2. And that's when Miss Natural gets up and literally like shows her like, yeah, I am that bitch. She was like, oh yeah, I am Jocelyn number 2. Starts doing hella like dance moves, damn near like pas de bourrées, arabesque. Like, this shit was crazy. Mind you, I used to be a competitive dancer for a majority of my life, so seeing her hit some of like the certain things she hit, I'm like, that shit's hella hard. Like, no, this bitch is a real ass dancer. Like, that's not no shit that you just like learn on your own. Like she said, she went to a school for it. She's professionally trained, because she showed her the fuck off. And then Big Lex was like, I could do that, I could do that. Embarrassing. Literally all she did was hop in the splits and just scooting back and forth. Like, why would you even try if you know you couldn't do it? Like, now you look stupid. Very. The next scene, we get Boss Tech in her room, and she's basically like, I didn't come here for the $10,000. I already had 10 racks on me. And she has like a duffel bag of all her money, and she just lets it all out and is rolling around in it. Honestly, I've always wanted to do that. That's like a little like on my bucket list. But she's rolling around in it, having fun, basically showing to us like, I don't need this money, but you're still here. And this is when things get like really serious. Like, on the show, it comes on with like the black screen, and written across it, it says that basically Aqua was feeling down or whatever, and Jocelyn was like, hey, you want to talk about it? So we get this next scene where basically, I guess Aqua had told Jocelyn that she wanted to kill her, felt like killing herself. And Jocelyn's basically like, we not doing none of that in here. Like, why would you even say that? Like, why would you want to kill yourself? And Jocelyn brought up a good fucking point. This is why I like this show, because Jocelyn keeps it hella real. Like, everything I really be thinking, she literally says, like, out loud. But she made a good point. She was like, do you want to kill yourself because of the loss of the twin babies or the loss of your nigga? Because basically the nigga backed out on her and decided last minute he didn't want a family, and that's why she ended up getting the abortion, all that stuff. But I was like, ooh, good point. But it came to happy resolution. Aqua's not gonna do that shit. She's gonna move forward and be in the game, and hopefully her mental does get better with her situation. So then the next scene, we get Blueface, Barbie's bitch ass, and Chanel. I believe they're in Barbie's room. We're just gonna call her Barbie because it's too much to be calling her Blueface Barbie. Like, I'm not doing all that. But they're in the room, and basically Barbie's trying to stir up some drama. She was like, oh, like, lucky, you mean unlucky? Like, she's hella disloyal. I'm about to air her out tonight, blah, blah, blah. So we get like a split scene of basically, because in the next scene, it's Lucky and Sapphire. And they're basically telling the story of what happened, of how Lucky's disloyal. So basically, according to Blueface Barbie, Lucky is disloyal because I guess she had hit her up on some like sexual shit, and she made it seem like, because basically Blueface Barbie has a pimp, or her nigga is her pimp, whatever, and she made it seem like Lucky hit her up, like, you know, trying to fuck with her, but also trying to fuck with her on that other shit, like, you know, like, we finna do some shit, give my money to my nigga type thing. But according to Lucky, she was like, no, I did hit her up on some sexual shit, but I thought it was just gonna be us making money together, not no other nigga involved. And I asked her, I'm like, do you have a pimp? And I guess Barbie was kind of like, no, but then at the same time, like, yes. Like, I don't know. I honestly was getting confused, all the terminology, all this shit. But basically, Blueface Barbie, basically Barbie thinks Lucky is disloyal because it seemed like she was down with this shit and then backed out on some weird shit. And Lucky thinks that Barbie is weird because she was trying to have her on some weird shit when she was really trying to do some basic ass one-on-one shit, if that makes any sense to y'all. So we're gonna skip right to the scene when the girls are coming downstairs one by one, done and ready. Now some were better than others. Some definitely got the memo of like, okay, step it up, we bad bitches. Some were still casual, like we're at a brunch, mimosa. I think the best one dress honestly was Boss Tech. Her outfit was so cute, especially how she had the mask incorporated. It was just so classy and just like, I'm here to serve. She definitely won the best look of that night to me. So right when the girls, like after they come downstairs, they kind of automatically split up into like 3 groups. We got one group on the couch. It's Barbie, Chanel, and Boss Tech. And then another group by the bar. It's Big Lex, Lexi Blow, Lucky, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. The last group who's playing pool is Miss Natural, Sapphire, Aqua, and I'm missing one more. Hold on. And Yummy P. So Jocelyn comes down to her outfit, and honestly, I liked it, but I didn't. For me, it was the nipple part. It wasn't the fact that they were out, but I didn't like how the design was like Twilight Zone right here. Like, it kind of just threw me off. Like, honestly, Boss Tech was the best dress, but I did fuck with Jocelyn's headpiece, so I'll give her that. So she comes down. The first group she goes up to is a group on the couch, which is Barbie, Chanel, and Boss Tech, and she starts talking to them. And then that's when Barbie is over here on her like, oh, like I'm the bottom bitch, these hoes here ain't bottom bitches. Like, for one, the fact that you're bragging about being a bottom bitch just is like, damn, that just says a lot right there. Like, you're really proud. But then she starts trying to roll over into the Lucky shit and was like, oh, Lucky, you mean we call her unlucky, trying to like stir the pot, spill a little tea that she thinks she has or whatever to Jocelyn, because I guess her and Jocelyn are actually like cool outside of the house. Basically, Barbie's over there talking hella shit about Lucky to Jocelyn, and eventually Lucky comes over. She comes over, I believe, with Lexi Blow. Comes over because she clearly keeps hearing her name. She keeps hearing someone say unlucky, unlucky, like, bitch, no, my name is Lucky. So she comes over, and at first she comes over, she's like, oh, may I sit right here? They're like, no, we not trying to blah, blah. She's like, no, I'm gonna sit right here. I'm gonna, like, because they were trying to be like, no, you can't sit here. So she, like, sits on the table. So this is, like, Lucky on, like, the table sitting, and this is the rest of the girls on the couch. They're, like, this close to each other. And basically, they start getting into it. Brian makes a comment like, oh, like, you wasn't having this energy when you was trying to pay money to my man, blah, blah, blah. And Lucky's basically like, you not finna run me, bitch, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're basically just bantering back and forth. And then Barbie's like, oh, you was over here DMing me how you wanna lick my pussy, blah, 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 but now you over here acting like this. And then Jocelyn basically gets him like, whoa, what is the issue? What is the issue? And Lucky's like, I feel like Barbie just don't want to like me so bad. And this is where the chaos happens. Because Barbie, mind you, this snow possum responds back saying, why wouldn't I like you if you was over here giving money to my nigga? Yes, y'all, she said the N-word. Mind you, on this show, they don't block out shit. It's all, they don't block on no nudity, nothing. It's all raw and uncut. I knew in that moment, because keep in mind, like, Lucky had already been fed up, and she kept saying, like, in the end of their argument, like, may I, meaning in her head, may I beat her ass. Jocelyn's thinking, oh, may, you know, speak again. But I'm telling you, when she said, when you was giving money to my nigga, boom, like, Lucky literally, like, dives across and starts just blowing her right in her face, which was well deserved. And to be real with you, I feel like the main reason why she really, like, decided to sock her in the face and start throwing hands is because of the nigga part. Like, it was already getting heated. You already got me fucked up. But the fact hearing this white girl who wanted to be black so bad be like, oh, you wasn't doing this when you was paying my nigga, yeah, you deserve to get your shit knocked the fuck back, which exactly happened. And that was it for the first episode season premiere of Jocelyn Cabaret season 2. I will be reviewing this for sure. This time I'm gonna be reviewing this show like on a weekly basis because I actually like this show a lot and I love Jocelyn and I just love the energy. I honestly, it feels like Bad Girls Club revamped but a little bit better. But if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.